Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? I was having some issues with my phone this morning. Let's see if it works. Yay, it worked. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We'll see if you guys find me. Good morning, Marissa. So yes, I have on shorts. So for those of you who know me, if I have on shorts, it's going to be a sweat fest today. We've been easy peasy the last week. So we're going to be a little harder today and work our booties off. Good morning, Petra. I hope you're feeling better, my dear. Good morning, Alicia. All my pretties are signing on. I'm so happy to see you all. Marissa, oh boy. The other thing too is we're going to work with sun salutations. We're going to talk about them. We're going to perfect them. I'm going to give you ways to modify them until you get stronger. People say, well, what can I do to work out to get stronger to do a sun salutation? No, you just have to do the sun salutation to get stronger, but I'll give you lots of different options of sun salutations. They're not all the same. But the other reason why shorts is because in the studio here in the back room, if I turn the AC on that's back here, it drowns out the microphone. So, there's that. Your shoulders. Okay. Sweat vest. Yes. Sweat vest. Goodness. We've been easy peasy. And now we're going to get a little cardio in, but not crazy, but just enough. And there's going to be modifications all the way. And I know most of my students that are in my class, they see sun salutations and they go, oh. Because, you know, to be fair, I probably do that too. But they're so good for us. Good morning, Jessie. Let's see. Yay, you found me. Yes, my side braid. It's my fancy side braid. And I'm rocking shorts too, which is very rarely seen. Your braid is catching up with mine, my dear. All right. We're all sliding in. It's Saturday. Well, you know, I was going to say it's Saturday morning. People are sleeping in. But at this point during quarantine, I kind of lose track of what day it is. So, before you guys faint, too cold for shorts here. Yeah, well, you know, I hardly ever wear them, but how can it be that cold already? It's just April. It should be kind of fall-ish for you in Chile. But you are kind of high elevation, so. Is it cold in North Carolina too? Okay. You know, I have to tell you, Marissa, somebody fainted? Wait. Spring. Well, spring for North Carolina. I was talking to Jessie. Jessie lives in Chile. So for her, it's kind of like fall because it's about to get cold because she's opposite from us and it's about to get hot from us. But it's cold in North Carolina too. It's just hot. I'm just hot. Good morning, Doug. Ooh, the mountains. Marissa, I feel like a road trip. We'll come and do yoga retreat at your house. Oh, that would be awesome. I would like that. Good morning, Becky. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning, Nini. Okay, so sun salutations today, my lovelies. So in honor of this being our 33rd day together, we are going to do 33 sun salutations. And I know most of you just passed out. It won't be like that, because some of them will be on the floor. Some of them will be on your knees. Some of them will be standing up. So it's not too bad. I just want to give you more tools to go in your toolbox, because if you can remember the elements of a sun salutation, you have a practice that you can take with you everywhere you go. So let's say you're traveling, you go to visit Jesse in Chile or Marissa in North Carolina, and you stop along the way and you want to do a practice and you want to do your own practice. If you can remember a sun salutation and have a beach towel or something you can put down, you have a yoga practice. Ba-ding! How often have you been to a yoga class or something and you're like, oh, I'm going to remember that, so when I could go home, I can do it. And you leave the practice with your happy yoga face on and you can't remember any of the poses you did. So you can't do them at home because you can't remember. If we can break down these sun salutations so that you'll remember them, then you have a practice. And what's so nice about sun salutations are they're like a syllabus, which means you can add some poses in and make them a little different, or you can put breath on top of it. It's a great medium for being salty or savory. It's just that structure that you can add stuff on. Good morning, Amber. Marissa, you're making faces? Why are you making faces? Yeah, Nene, you're going to be sore tomorrow. Oh, she's making faces because of 33. Yeah, I'm hot. I'm going to be anyway. It's not that cold. All right, let's get started. So we're going to do just a few connecting, warm-up, dedicating things on the floor. And then we're going to start getting a little more active. So I have this. Did I put them in here? No. I have to get my chalk. Let me walk off camera and get my chalk. You guys are going to laugh about this. When I am dedicating my practice to somebody, or if I am counting out sun salutations, I write on my mat so that I can keep track of what's going on. And I do that by just using chalk. And yes, I have sidewalk chalk over there. So I'm going to keep track of our sun salutations here on my mat, and it's going to be a fun time. So let's get started. Let's dedicate our practice. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Mercedes. Oh, I love this chalk, and I dedicate it by writing people's names down, or if there's something I want to work through, I write it down. I've been wanting to create my own chalk just for fun and package it for yoga studios and call it chakra. We'll see if that works. All right, here we go. We're going to let the head come forward, feel the back of the neck stretch. We're just settling in. This is that space where we connect to what we're going to do this morning. And I know this seems very simple, but how often, when you get up and you're busy, do you stop to say, hey, self, how do you feel today? Hey, body, how do you feel today? You check in with your emotions maybe, or your thoughts, and say, are you good today? That's what this space is for. So we set the intention. Lifting pelvic floor, pull the navel in, nice tall spine. feet. And we let that right ear drift down to right shoulder. Just checking in while people are signing on. Left ear, left shoulder. Time is kind of like a suggestion during quarantine. And bring the head back up. Find your breath. We're going to open those eyes, lace the fingers together, pressing out. Good morning, Leanne. Good morning, Peggy. Lisa. Oh my goodness, nice to see you all. And super big stretch. And turn to the right, tall spine. So this is going to be a sweat fest. Sorry guys, but we've been really good this week about self-care, about working things out of the body. We were incorporating the things that we've learned throughout the last month, like mudras and breath in yesterday's practice. Left shoulder down, right hand up. And today it's just really going to be to get those kinks out, but more than that, to give you some tools to go in your yoga toolbox so that you can create a practice on the fly anytime you want to. So there won't be too much here on the floor today. This is just mostly to get those muscles moving, to get you to connect with your mat and yourself. Come back to the center, out and up. And turn to the left, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right shoulder comes down, left hand comes up. Nice big stretch, open through the side body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Contract through side body to come up. Back to the center, forward. Lengthening out through the crown of the head. You want to lift your pelvic floor here. Now, we've talked about that. That's the Mula Bandha. We're going to pull the navel in, lengthening through the crown of the head. And then slowly we're going to come back up. We're going to change the cross, and this is the last thing that we're going to do that's of this nature. The rest of it's sun salutations. We're going to break down chaturangas too. And right arm down, left arm. I know, chaturangas sound like it should be right on the menu next to chimichanga and burrito. But we're going to do our best. We're going to learn how to do them. I remember when I first started doing chaturangas, and I told my teacher, I'm like, is there something I can do at the gym so that I can get stronger, so I can do a better chaturanga? She says, you just need to do chaturanga. And it was the truth. The more you do, the better you get at it. Hand comes up, and bend that elbow and come through, but that's been a whole lot of years ago. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And stretch, lengthening out. And back up. Left arm down. Right arm reaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand comes up. Bend at that elbow. Twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. And up. Hands come behind. Roll those shoulders open. Remember, we learned Kali Mudra yesterday. Let's add that fierceness in this posture before we move on. So we have those fingers laced behind us. We're going to extend those index fingers up. And as we come up, those hands come up. Kali Mudra, while we're in this pose, nice fierceness here. Piercing through those obstacles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly bringing those hands down as we come up. Releasing those hands, backs of the hands together, rolling back body. Nice big stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. We're going to put the bottoms of those feet together, coming forward into our cobbler's pose. Lengthening through the crown of the head, feel the lower back stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to slowly bring those knees in and cross. Nice big stretch here. And then change that cross. Pull with those arms. And then bring yourself up. And we're going to turn ourselves around. Or I'm turning myself around. We're going to come forward onto the knees. So, good morning, Frank. Nice to see you. Good morning, Beverly. We're going to start with some sun salutations that can be done on the floor. Sun salutations, couple of things. It's kind of like the first yoga practice, really. These were the only poses, and these were done so that the body would be warm enough and physically fit enough to sit and meditate for long periods of time. Then in the morning, this is the best time as the sun's coming up to do your practice, to get it, to do your meditation, and then start your day. But we're going to just change it and make it multifaceted so that you have ways to practice. So we're going to come over onto our hands and knees, and we're going to shift back into our child's pose and stretch it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to get right into the sun salutations because the sun salutations themselves will warm us up. So we're going to inhale up to standing, or on our knees. Then exhale back into a type of forward fold, but it is child's pose. Inhale into table. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Belly comes down. Chest lifts up. Chest comes down. Press to table. From table to down dog. And we're going to bend and stretch in that down dog. So you see those elements. For those of you who have been practicing a while or new to the practice, you'll also hear vinyasa. You'll hear in between poses, you'll hear something called vinyasa. Now vinyasa typically just means a set of postures. So when you do a vinyasa, it's typically chaturanga or knees, chest, and chin, up dog or cobra, and then pushing back to down dog, and then you do the other side. It's those 3 poses typically linked together that counts a vinyasa. Well, those are in the sun salutation. So you're still doing part of one all the time. We're going to put those knees down. We're going to come into child's pose, and that's 1. See? 1 sun salutation down already. It's not a big deal. So let's see if we can do it this time. Just try it without the breath. Let's get the poses together again. We're going to come up onto the knees. Really big lift here. From here, we're going to slowly come down. We're going to come into child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to come up into table. From table, knees, chest, and chin. We're going to let the belly come down. Lift the chest and open up. Slowly let the chest come back down. From there, you'll come to table. We'll turn the toes. Down dog. Now, this is just our second one. And you can see what I was saying about getting hot. So hopefully you have the air down, lengthening through the spine. Sun salutations are wonderful at getting that whole body warm. The joints, the muscle tissue, able to work out the kinks and the creaks in the body. Blowing out that quarantine rust from sitting on our keisters. Now we're going to bring those knees down. We're going to come back to child's pose, and that counts as 2. So we haven't even made it to standing, and we're already got 2 down. 33 is going to be no problem, right? So we're going to do another one here on the floor. And we're going to add breath to it. And once you add breath to it, it changes it a little bit. I want you to see the versatility of doing sun salutations where you can add and take from it. We're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, table. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Belly comes down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, table. Exhale, down dog. You bend and stretch, you breathe freely here. See, it's a lot different when you do it with the breath. And then we're going to put those knees down with that exhale right into child's pose. That's 3. You guys are awesome, but you knew that. So we're going to do that again because these they're a little easier to do. The body's slowly warming up. The brain might be warming up. But we're going to do it with a breath, and we're going to add more to it. So we've been practicing that ujjayi breathing or breath with sound. So we want to make that space, but we've also been practicing adding length to our breaths. So we want to try to make this next one as slow as we can using that ujjayi or breath with sound. So here we go. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling to table. Exhaling to knees, chest, and chin. All the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, table or down. I have to add the table in there. Inhale to table. Exhale, down dog. Bend and stretch. Breathe on your own. The reason we add that table in there is when you do the other sun salutations, when you come into down dog is always done with that exhale. And you want to get the breathing right, because if you get in the habit of breathing during certain postures, and you want the breath to always be the same in those postures, so you don't have to think about it. We're going to put those knees down. Come into child's pose. That's 4. We're doing pretty good for doing 33. And see, you guys were panicking. Nice big stretch. So maybe we're going to open and close those wrists. Maybe the wrists are already getting a little grumpy. And let's try one more of these. I'm going to call it, but you breathe it how you want to. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward. Inhaling to table. Exhaling, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, table. Exhale, down dog. Bend and stretch here, bend and stretch. Lengthening through the spine, broadening the back body. We're going to put those knees down and come back into our child's pose. So that's 5 sun salutations that we've already done. And we're feeling good about that. We feel pretty confident because there's no jumping forward, jumping back. It's not like a crazy practice that you've seen people that are like 20 practicing. We're able to warm. So just what we did here on the floor is accessible for most folks doing this. So what we did here on the floor, you could do in the morning. You could do a little something at night before you went to bed, just here. It consists of an up, making it back down, making it to knees, chest, and chin in a cobra, and then making your way through a table, maybe, into down dog, and you're done. So you're going to see those elements repeat and repeat. So we're going to extend those arms back out, come back into a table, from table to down dog, because we're going to make our way to the front of the mat. We're going to step forward, fingertips flat back. Good morning, Debbie. And forward fold. Inhale all the way up and back down. Nicely done, everybody. So you can see why today's a shorts day. So the next pose, the sun salutation we're going to do, there's so many different styles. We're going to do the classical one, and that's where you drop a knee. If you need to have extra padding, make sure that it's close, but we're just going to be there just a minute to put the knee down. When you see fingertips flat back, there is this pose in the beginning where you come fingertips flat back, and you're just trying to straighten the spine, right? You're trying to really lengthen up, get the spine tall before you fold. If that's too difficult, if your hamstrings are tight, touching the floor is hard, you can always come into half back. Now keep in mind, my hands aren't on my knees because your knees don't bend in this direction. We don't want to put force on them that way. You can put them right under the knees, lengthening through the crown of the head. Okay? So you can do this instead of this. And especially until you get warm, this may be all that you have access to. All right, so let's start. Let's see what we can do. Let's play. Let's not overthink it, okay? Inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back, or maybe that's your half back. Forward fold, soft bend the knees, send that right foot back. You're on the ball of the foot. This is classical sun salutation. You sit that right knee down. That might be where you need your padding. Then from there, we're going to come up. So we're going to change this a couple of different ways. We're going to do several of these, but right now we're not going to make it complicated. We're going to learn the moves, okay? We're going to bring those hands back down. We lift that knee up. We're going to shift back to table, and we can knees, chest, and chin or chaturanga. Now we've done a whole bunch of knees, chest, and chins already, so we're going to start breaking down chaturanga. With chaturanga, I use my toes to kind of push myself forward some so the elbows can come back. Right? That would be chaturanga. Let's lower all the way down because learning chaturanga is hard, right? We're going to lift up into cobra. Slowly coming down. So that's still a smaller cobra. Let's see if you can put some pressure in your hands and lift a little taller. We don't want to lock our arms. This isn't cobra. This is somewhere between up dog and cobra, right? Bent elbows. Looking forward. That's cobra. But we're not going to work that hard yet. We're working ourselves up to it. Now from here we're going to turn those toes, and you can come through that down dog or table if you need to go straight to down dog. Right leg comes forward. Left knee drops. Coming up. Nice big stretch. So you can come through this quickly, or you can get in this posture and hold it. It's your sun salutation. It's your practice. You'll be able to determine that when you're doing this in your home practice. We're going to let those hands come back down. We're going to come to the ball of that foot. We're going to step forward, fingertips flat back, lengthening through the spine. Remember, you can put your hands on your shins if you need to. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. And down. Whew. Remember, these are suggestions. It's kind of like a recipe. You have a recipe that somebody gives you, but you're like, I don't want raisins in this cookie. I want this in the cookie, right? So you give and take and give and take. Maybe you substitute eggs for applesauce or da-da-da. That's what's happening in the sun salutation. So now we're going to do the sun salutation, this classical one, breath only. So there won't be a hold with the arms up. Let's try again. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forward fold. Fingertips flat back, that's an inhale. Exhaling, bend the knees, send that right foot back. Knee comes down. Inhaling, hands come up. Exhaling, hands come back down. I forgot to count the last one. And stepping back into plank. Chaturanga, but lower yourself to the floor. Don't hover. Just lower all the way down. Nicely done. We're going to come and soften those feet. Inhale, cobra. Maybe you can make it a little taller, not smaller. Exhaling down. We inhale to table so that we can exhale to down dog. So there's a little play with the breath there. You'll see what I mean when we get into a fuller sun salutation. We're going to let that right leg come forward. That's an inhale as we continue to inhale all the way up with those arms. Exhaling down. And lift the leg. Inhale. Fingertips flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And that's another one. Yay us. We're marking them down. 33 sun salutations, 33 days of quarantine. Right? You gotta have fun with it. So let's try it again, but this time we're not going to do it as quickly, and we're going to hold the warrior one. In this pose, it's a crescent posture. Inhale, up. Exhaling, forward fold. I hope you're smiling. We have muscles there too. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to bend those knees, send that right foot back, put the knee down. Inhaling up. This one we're going to hold. And we're going to go back to that ujjayi breathing, breathing with sound. We forget our breath, especially when we're learning something new or we're joining in with somebody and we don't know how they're teaching. Let's try to breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3. Inhaling. Exhaling. 4. Inhaling. Exhaling. 5. Hands come down. Lift the right knee, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga, lowering to floor. Soften those feet. Inhale to cobra. We're going to hold this one for 5 as well. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1. If you have to lower it, make it smaller to do this. Go ahead. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3. Inhaling. Exhaling. 4. Last one. Inhaling. Exhaling. 5. Slowly come down and you're like, holy smokes, that was so hard. I hadn't held it that long before. I know. You're welcome. We're going to inhale to table and push back into down dog. Feel that stretch in the back. Bending and stretching, lengthening through the spine. Nice. We're going to bring that right leg forward, put left knee down. From there, we're going to inhale up. Feel the warmth that you're getting in the body from this practice. Really feel the work. Opening through the front of the hip. Let's try our breathing here. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3. Inhaling. Exhaling. 4. Inhaling. Exhaling. 5. Oh, we're going to put those hands down. I'm going to go ahead and do our mark while I'm down here on the floor. We're going to lift that knee. We're going to step forward, fingertips flat back. Feel that work. You guys are the bomb. Good morning, April. And inhale all the way up. And down. How are we feeling? Warm yet? We should be feeling pretty warm. Alicia, you warm? You still with me? Good morning, Mommy. All right. So, we have a lot more poses to do, and we're going to knock them out. So, we're moving to a different one. That was the classical sun salutation. Now we're going to move to Series A. Now, when you see somebody do a sun salutation, this is the one you typically see. This one doesn't have any poses, no crescent poses, no warrior one poses. It is just an up, a back, down to the floor, and back to the front. So when I dedicate birthday wishes to folks, I will do 33 or 50. I did 91 of them for my grandmother when she turned 90. I guess it was 90. Yeah, 90. And had marks all the way around. Because this one's a little easier to do with a flow. Okay? We're going to practice from the front. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forward fold. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding. We're going to step all the way back to a plank. And again, because we're still warming up and we have a lot of sun salutations to do, that chaturanga we're going to do is just down to the floor. So we're going to kind of rotate forward, bend those elbows back. We don't want any chicken wings, and put it right down. Lifting up for cobra, so it can be small or big. Because we're going to get to up dog, but I want you to be really warm before we do. Slowly lowering back down. And when you're on the floor like this, flipping your toes and coming to down dog, you can't do that. You have to kind of go through table. So we push through that table, turn the toes down dog. And then from there, you just step forward. Fingertips flat back, forward fold, inhale, up, back down. You see, so that's pretty simple. And we're at number 9 already. I know when you first thought, oh my gosh, if I have to do 9 salutations, I would pass out, let alone 33. I want to make it doable for you. So we're going to come to the front. We're going to play with this one some more, okay? Inhaling up. The most important thing is that you're got up and that you're moving. Exhaling, forward fold. Doesn't have to be pretty. Forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to bend those knees. We're going to step all the way back to plank. You can choose to do knees, chest, and chin here if you want to, because right now we're just doing a chaturanga all the way to the floor. So we're going to bend those elbows straight back and just lower slowly to the floor. I have found that practicing that without the stop at the bottom is what helped me get stronger to do it the other way. We're going to lift up into our cobra. Slowly we come back down. We're going to press through table into down dog. And so I have a lot of you guys that are watching that know this, that do it often. And so your brain is traveling away and you typically do them faster. But hopefully me doing them slower today is making you slow down and making you put your brain in your practice. You got to get your mind here, your body here. Everything has to be in one spot so that you can be present. Looking forward, stepping forward, fingertips flat back. Forward fold, that's another one. So we've completed 10 already. Inhale all the way up. I know you guys are like, I don't care about that 10, it's the other 23 I gotta do. Hands come back down and rest. Check in. Everybody okay? I hope so. Good morning. Valerie, jacket's off, you're warm. Alicia, inside in the AC, hanging in there so far. Good job. All right, so we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to try to do the chaturanga and stop, and then come into up dog. So maybe you're going to do the chaturanga and you're going to lower to the floor and you're going to stop, but your body just keeps on going to the floor. That's okay. That's how we learn, right? But instead of coming up into cobra this time, I want you to see if you can push all the way up into up dog, okay? So up dog is hands are on the floor, tops of the feet are on the floor, your thighs aren't on the floor anymore. Thighs touch the floor when it's cobra, all right? So let's see what we can do. And we're going to play. Nobody's watching, right? Well, the dogs maybe, but inhale up. But they don't judge because you feed them. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to step back to plank. Chaturanga if you can. So there's a pause here. Press to come up. That's your up dog, and I got a cramp in the bottom of my foot. And then press to down dog. So that was your first full sun salutation. No bells, no whistles, chaturanga and up dog the way that it was intended. But from here on out, after you've practiced chaturanga and you start to get tired, totally go back to knees, chest, and chin and cobra if you like. We're going to step right back forward, and that was number 11. Fingertips flat back, forward fold, inhale all the way up. Hands come back. Now, that being said, we have that modification, knees, chest, and chin. We have cobra. But if you want to, you can do the chaturanga or up dog. Maybe you're in a position where you're rehabbing or getting up and down off the floor is difficult because you're just starting yoga, or you're not in shape, or you're recovering from an injury. You can do a forward fold, just straight to a down dog, and then back to forward fold, and still participate in a class with people who are doing sun salutation. You have to be your own best advocate. Knowing your body and knowing the practice will help you modify with what works for your body. Let's do this one again. Here we go. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forward fold. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga, if you need to stop and do knees, chest, and chin here, fine. Inhaling to up dog. Notice that it's the tops of my feet and my hands that are touching. My thighs aren't touching. Turning those toes. If you have to do them one at a time, that's fine. We come back into down dog, settling into that down dog. And then we're going to slowly come forward. We're going to fingertips flat back. Forward fold. That makes number 12. And then inhale all the way up. Hands come down. So we're going to start really tweaking these postures. We are going to do the modified, the lower modified practice. All right? So imagine that you're older, you're not very flexible, you can do a lot of yoga standing up, but getting up and down off the floor just doesn't work well for you, but you want to participate. We're going to practice one of those. So we're going to come to the front of the mat. We're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Now, if you have a hard time getting up and down off the floor, this may be the forward fold. That person probably is not going to be able to touch the floor. That's okay. That's their practice. So maybe it's here. So then when you say fingertips flat back, they're going to do half back. They're going to lengthen here. And then you're like, oh, all right, you're going to suggest to them to come back into plank and then to do the chaturanga and up dog. And that's not going to work for them. So they're going to come forward. So we're going to follow along. Hands come down, bend the knees. They're going to step back into down dog and wait. So when they're in this posture, the other people in the class who have a sun salutation would be coming into plank, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga, and up dog or cobra. And then when they make it into down dog, that person that's doing this practice is right on speed with everybody else and can still practice, right? So we bend those knees, we slowly come forward, fingertips flat back. Now remember, for them, it's probably going to be half back. Forward fold, that counted, that's 13, so we only got 20 to go. And inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Now, another reason why I just showed you this practice is as we go through this practice today, you're probably going to get tired. This is something you can do. Instead of doing the chaturanga, maybe your wrists are hurting. Instead of doing that up dog because maybe it's your upper back that's lame or you're just done, you'll just forward fold, down dog, forward fold. That's your modification. So then a lot of times this is practiced differently, like in the Ashtanga practice, which is how I know Nini, she's watching today. You jump into that chaturanga and you jump forward. And I don't even do that well compared to the people who have a really strong Ashtanga practice, a lot younger than me and have been doing it a long time. But we're going to try it today. So we're going to inhale up. This is the more modified. Exhaling, forward fold. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding, soft bend those knees. You jump into a type of plank. So I go right into the chaturanga. You can lower down to knees, chest, and chin, or press to come to up dog. Down dog. You're pausing here. Lengthening through the spine. And then you look forward, bend the knees, jump back. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding. Put a little line. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And release it out. So if you needed to do the first one, where you did forward fold, down dog, forward fold, you wouldn't be doing this one. This is if you just really wanted to burn some stuff off. You are already in really good shape. As you get stronger, this is something that you can do. But we're going to move on from Series A to Series B. Now this one has poses in it, and it has chairs added to the front and to the end. And in the beginning, kind of complicated, so we're going to take it slow. So we're going to come to the front, and we're going to set up for this posture. We feel connected through the feet. And we're going to scoop through into a chair. So from here, we're going to inhale up into that chair. Exhale, forward fold. Or fingertip, or if you can't touch the floor, your hands are on your shins. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Maybe you're going to jump or step. I prefer to step. I save my jumps. Then you can knees, chest, and chin, which we'll do first since you're just learning it. Knees, chest, and chin. Belly would be down if you did knees, chest, and chin. And cobra. We're going to let that chest come down. We're going to press to table, then to down dog. Your right foot comes forward, grounding back foot. We're coming up into warrior one. Now keep in mind, we're doing this really slow. You would be doing each one of these movements with a breath, either an inhale or an exhale. We're breaking it down so that you can learn what they are. Then once you get up, I mean, it's so crazy. As soon as you make it all the way here, it's time to come all the way back down. You're going to come to the ball of that foot. That makes that exchange a little better. So you come to the ball of that back foot. You step back to plank. And we're going to do a chaturanga and float it to the floor this time instead of knees, chest, and chin. So let those elbows come back. Float it to the floor for me. Soften those feet. We're going to lift that cobra. Again, this is a easier version of the sun salutation B. We're going to let that chest come down. We're going to press back to table, from table to down dog. And now we're going to let that left leg come forward, grounding that right foot. We're going to come all the way up. So we're here. We made it. We made it up into that warrior one. We're definitely feeling warm. The synovial fluid, those little bags around the joints are starting to warm up. So the joints are feeling a little better. You're definitely awake. You're definitely warm. Hands come back down. Come to the ball of that right foot. Stepping back to plank. We're going to chaturanga to the floor. We're not holding it. Soften the feet. Lift the chest. Let that chest come down. We're going to press to table, from table to down dog. And we're going to hang out here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and give us credit for that, right? So we got 15 sun salutations under the belt. Nice full breath. And I looked at the time. There's no way that we can get 33 done since we're just halfway. So we'll modify today. It's the intention that mattered, right? We're just going to do them until we can't. We're going to bend the knees, looking forward, stepping forward, fingertips flat back. Bunny hops work. Bunny hops are cute. Bunny hop forward if you need to. And forward fold. We're going to scoop through, coming into chair. Press down to come up. Hands come down. So that was a modified practice. There was no chaturanga. There was a chaturanga to the floor, but there were no up dogs in this practice. Okay? We're going to do a practice that's even a lower one than that one. So because there's a lot of up and down, up and down. So remember that person that I told you that might be so stiff doing series A that has to do the forward fold, down dog, forward fold with no up and down. Maybe they're hanging in there and they make it to series B. What can those people do to still be able to participate? We're going to do one of those now. And that's going to give you a chance to rest because it's hard, right? We're going to scoop through, inhaling up into chair. So the stiff person that doesn't practice often, they can do this, right? Forward folding, so they may be here. Fingertips flat back, may be a half back for them. Forward fold, and they're going to go ahead and step all the way back to down dog. Now, they're going to wait while the rest of the class is doing chaturanga, up dog. And then when they come to down dog, they're going to bring the right foot forward so that they can be on point with everybody else who just came into warrior one. So during down dog and warrior one, this person's with everybody else. When we come back down, we would step back into that down dog and the rest of the class would be doing chaturanga, up dog. Then they come into down dog again. They caught up. We're going to bring that left foot forward. Bring those arms up into warrior one. So this modified practice, they're on time and on speed with everybody else during these poses. We're going to bring those hands back down. We're going to step right back down to down dog. And the rest of the class would be doing chaturanga, up dog, and then down dog. And this down dog, we stay a while. We take about 5 breaths here. We really check in with the body. And then we make our way back to the front of the mat. So as they come to the front of the mat, remember they're stiffer. So they probably can't touch the floor, and that's okay. So they're going to come here, and they're going to come to half back. Then forward fold. Then bend the knees, come through chair, which is going to be doable. Press down to come up. And that's a lovely modification for folks, and that counts as 16 for us, that chaturanga or knees, chest, and chin is not working for them. Maybe the wrist is starting to be a little angry, so you only have the down dog instead of down dog and chaturanga and up dog. It takes a little work out of it. But now we're going to do the harder one, and there'll be a couple of you who are watching who can do it. That's with the jumping back, jumping forward, the chaturanga, and the up dog. Do what you can, or just do the poses that we just did. So if you want to do the forward folding and the down dog portion, you do that. All right, so we're going to come to the front. Nice full breath. We want to feel connected because this is kind of workshop style. So maybe you don't feel the flow as much. Maybe you feel disconnected. So we feel the feet. We feel the temperature. And we're going to inhale, coming into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips, flat back. Forward fold. Chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. Right foot comes forward, up into warrior one. As soon as you come up, it's time to come right back down to plank to chaturanga, the upward dog or cobra, to down dog. That left foot travels forward, grounding that back foot. We come all the way up. Exhaling all the way back down. I hope you're doing what you can do. Knees, chest, and chin or chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. And if you just went straight to down dog and waited, that's perfect. Because everybody will get into that down dog eventually. Maybe you decide to hang out in the forward fold. So that counted to 17, right? We're going to bend those knees looking forward. You can step, hop, or jump. Fingertips flat back or half back. Forward fold. Scoop through to come to chair. Press down to come up. And release. So, bottom line is, when you go to a class, you're paying the teacher to give you a practice and to help your body. But ultimately, you have to do what feels good to your body. Now, having a teacher give you options is wonderful. So you can say, I can't do that today, but I can do this today. And you need to give yourself permission that that's all right. So we're going to come to it. A lot of people will not go to harder practices because they're afraid they can't keep up. But you're not going to be able to keep up that first time. And you're like, I'm going to wait until I'm strong enough to go. And then that means you never go. But if you go, then eventually you'll be strong enough to continue. That's where I'm headed. Inhaling up. I just want you to continue. I want you to use the body you brought today. Forward folding. We're starting to make our way back down to the floor. Fingertips flat back. So we're running out of time, so we can do sun salutations all day. Forward fold. We're going to step back into our down dog. We're going to put those knees down and slide back into a child's pose and a rest. So while we're resting, I want you to try to think about the concept of what all of those poses had in common. So are those sun salutations. Those sun salutations typically had a samasthiti, the arms coming up above the head, so that mountain pose, a forward fold, and then it had a plank to chaturanga, knees, chest, and chin, up dog, down dog. Everything else you can really change. The fingertips flat back, you can change them up or down. You can add in poses or take out poses. You can hold those poses or just do them with breaths. But if you just take those handful of poses, then everything else can change. So I want us to be able to finish out this. Let's do 3 more and we will have done 20. So we're going to do them here on the floor together. Okay? We're going to inhale up. Exhale back down. Inhale to table. Exhaling to the floor, knees, chest, and chin. Lower it down, soften your feet, breathe. Maybe a rock, lift the chest. Smile, we have muscles there. I am so happy that I get to see you every morning. You guys are the reason I get out of bed. Slowly lower back down. Press to table. From table to down dog. It would be so easy for me just to work all the time and to stay busy all the time and not make time for my practice. And what makes this so special is I get to do my practice with you and we get to share together. And that's a really wonderful thing. I love the sense of community. I love the intimacy of it. I love that we can communicate through chat. We're going to put those knees down. Come back into our child's pose. We got 2 more. Here we go. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward back into that child's pose. Inhaling to table. Exhaling, knees, chest, and chin. Are you smiling? Are you happy while you practice? Soften those feet, lift the chest. Opening through the heart. Feel that digestion moving. Keep those elbows back. Let the chest come down. Come to table. Come to down dog. Breathe, bend and stretch, checking in with your body. Notice that we're slowly getting slower. I'm even talking slower. The body immediately starts to respond and you feel the Shavasana coming. We put those knees down. We come into a child's pose and rest. Last one here. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward. Inhale, table. Knees, chest, and chin. Belly comes to floor. Soften feet. Lift up, opening through the heart. And chest comes down. Press to table. From table to down dog. And from there, we're going to put those knees down. Back to child's pose. And we officially did 20 sun salutations of all different kinds, shapes, sizes, speeds, duration, all of that. Now from there, we're going to slowly kind of come up. We're going to sit over on that right hip and come onto our booties. We're going to extend those legs out. See if maybe we can reach forward, grab those feet. Just hanging forward, feeling the work that we've done. And then from there, we're going to release. We're going to do our last little bit on the floor. Pull those knees in. Arms come out to the side. We're going to drop those knees over to the left. Nice twist in the spine. Let gravity do the work for you. No more muscular work for you. Feel that work through the side body and into the waistline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to bring those knees back to the center. Over to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees back to the center. We're going to put the bottoms of the feet flat on the floor. Hands beside the body here. We're going to roll up into a bridge pose. So you press down through the feet. So we push through the feet, we're lifting up. So as you push through the feet and we lift the hips, it's not that we're trying to contract the booty. It's not that we're trying to contract those hamstrings. By pushing down and lifting, back bend happens, right? This lengthening happens through front belly. We find our breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we lower down and we come into our Shavasana and we rest. Whew. Lots of fun work here. We release that back body down to the floor, top body onto back body. We soften the feet, the ankles, the shin and calf. The knees, the thighs, the glutes and pelvic belly. We release the lower back and navel. Mid back and solar plexus. Shoulder blades and heart. We soften the face and we find the breath. We feel that inhale travel up back body. That exhale down front body. Inhaling, travel up back body. You're smoothing out the tissues and softening the muscles. As you exhale, you're releasing fatigue, stress, anxiety, things that no longer serve you. Let them go. Now, if you're at home and you want to just continue to stay here, please do that. And if you're ready to start coming up to a seated position, we'll do that together. We're going to move fingers and toes and bend the knees. So maybe you just bend this much. Maybe you rock from side to side a little bit, windshield wipers. Maybe you bring those knees in, feel that work. And then roll to the right. Slowly we come up to a comfortable seated position. Nice work. Good morning, Brian. So from here, we're going to bring those hands to the heart. Hands at the heart, we slowly turn the head to the right. We slowly turn the head to the left. And back to the center. We remind ourselves of all the amazing things we have in our life to be thankful for. And it doesn't have to sound like a martyr. It doesn't have to be, I'm thankful for my family and my friends and my pets, which you are. But after being locked with them, maybe you're not. I don't know. But it can be, thank you for having toilet paper and the bathroom and key lime pie. It can be anything. Just recognize that you're thankful for something. Send out love and kindness. Now, I normally say to somebody, but I think everybody needs it. And you don't have a limited to supply, you have an unlimited supply. So you can send out love and kindness and not feel diminished. And in the practice with an Om, if you're comfortable, inhaling. Bowing forward, namaste. Peace be with you. Go safely. And thank you for practicing with me. I feel better. I hope you do. I really, really appreciate sharing my home with you every morning. Parker didn't want to get out of bed this morning, so I practiced alone, but I really do appreciate you being here. If you liked it, share it, give it a thumbs up, maybe go to YouTube and subscribe so that other people can find the videos. I really, really appreciate every single one of you, and I appreciate every single comment. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And you'll see that whenever the namaste to you too, Marissa. I see that, you know, whenever we're done and I finish this video, that I reply to every single comment. They mean a lot. I appreciate that you show up here with me every single day. I really do appreciate it. So from my house to your house, I'll see you tomorrow, 9 o'clock.